muted? Am I muted? You guys know if you guys mute me, I cannot hear you. How's it going? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, David Brown, Tonya, Bama, BBB. Hello from California. Hey, hello. I'm right next to California. Hello, Bob Kitten. And everyone watching the replay. Hello. Hello. Thank you for watching. Even though you're not live, I still appreciate you watching. What else? Oh, Rory's here. Rory wants to come and say hello. Look at her. Look at this cutie. Look at this cutie. Say hello. Hello to everyone. How's it going? Go play. Alright, so how's everyone doing today? Everyone had a good week? Or just waiting for Saturday? Welcome to my lofi coffee shop. Let's see. So I guess the first things that I want to talk about today is obviously the Darrel Brooks thing, because he apparently plead no contest. So no trial, no shenanigans, no nothing. So that's good. At least at least now we are doing my dear thick. My feelings on that is I'm glad that it didn't go to trial, because you know that he was gonna use that opportunity to do something to Erica. Like even as little as giving her like a mean eye or something, like I don't think she needs that anymore. So that's one way. Hello, Arizona. That's close to me as well. I can be there in like 2 hours. An hour and a half. So yeah, I believe that is for the better that they didn't go to that trial. Also, I think it's good for the taxpayers that, well, they don't have to pay for that trial. Like, even though I was sure that it was gonna be a short trial, because there was not a lot of things to say. It was just evidence, witness, and that is about it. So I'm glad it turned out that way. David before the stream was asking me. I have the question right here. It says, "Hey Jester, what are your thoughts on the recent court case of Brooks pleading no contest and being very..." I'm gonna cut the music. It kind of distracts me. What are your thoughts on the recent court case of Brooks pleading no contest and being very respectful and answering yes and no questions with no problem? What is Brooks up to? Well, I think it's two things. The first one is that he was in the first trial. He was fighting for his life, pretty much. Like he was desperate. He was clinging into an idea that he could maybe get out. Now that that's out of the questions, he doesn't have that fight anymore. Like, he doesn't need to go that hard into the theatrics. Also, I believe that his lawyer, like, convinced him to do that. Like, I believe that his lawyer was like, you know what, dude? You cannot do this. You cannot go the same way. You already are gonna be there for 1,000 years. It doesn't really matter. So he talked him into pleading no contest. And also, as you remember, a couple months ago, he was transferred to what are those called? Like a maximum prison um, jail, where in that jail specializes in um, bad inmates. Let's just say that. So I believe that he learned some lessons from there. So I believe all those factors led to we not having to have a trial, we not needing to pay for that trial. Well, I don't pay it. You guys pay it. You guys pay your taxes. I live in another country, but and also just the stress for Erica, because and that's what we're gonna cover today. We're gonna go back to the questioning of Erica by him, and let's see to see what could have been if the trial went through. Bama says he was scared. He dealt with it in jail, loosed like soup suppers. He's a scared little chicken. Yeah, yeah. I believe that people in that prison or jail, I don't know how you call it, um, they're giving him like some hard lessons so he doesn't do that again. All right, so let's get into it.
Clerk to have the jurors brought out.
As always, guys, if you guys could like the stream, share the stream. If you guys like on your Discord, or if I haven't even put it on my Discord. What am I doing? I'm the streamer and I'm not in my Discord. By the way, if you guys want to join the Discord, you guys can do it with the link in the description. Remember that every Sunday night we do movie night. So if you guys would like to watch a movie with the community, you are welcome to join and watch it. We watched Baby Driver last week. It's one of my I really enjoyed that movie. How do I get the link to my stream? I guess I'll just have to go to YouTube, then my channel, live, then there, copy, and paste it on the announcements page. One. All right. A black eye to match. Yeah, I mean, he will need to not have eyes to match his heart, because he doesn't have a heart. Friday he was determined to have a trial. Then he spent the weekend in jail and was given tales of jail justice. Monday he pleaded no contest to get out of there. Well, he's not gonna get out of jail. Well, yeah, I don't know if they transfer him back to his prison or jail. But he's not getting out of there until he learns to behave. So there's that. All right, so let's do it.
And then I'll ask you, sir, to call the defense next witness.
Can we address subject matter jurisdiction? It still has to be proven for the record.
I decline to do so. Your objection is noted for
Is
the
the
record.
audio on?
It is on.
Your objection is noted for the record.
Is the audio on?
Yes, it's on, sir. It's on.
So we're not going to address subject matter jurisdiction that has yet to be proven for the record.
I miss those. I miss him. Hello, Miss Santana. I miss those laughing about his ignorance, I guess.
For the record, I have addressed it.
No, you haven't
And
proven it
there's
for
a
the
written,
record.
and your objection's noted for the
Have
record.
you proven subject matter jurisdiction for the record? Have you proven it? Has the prosecution proven it?
Oh, okay.
There you go. Sorry.
Email that to her and print it out.
So that's a judicial determination that you don't have to answer that, Your Honor, being a public servant?
I was talking to my clerk. I didn't hear what you asked. The jury's coming in.
You heard what I asked.
I actually did not.
Hello, Bradley. Good morning. I said from the beginning, Brooks truly believed that because he lives in Milwaukee, that Waukesha has zero rights to charge him. Every case, Milwaukee is nice. just like his last case. Like I said, I believe that is more to the point that he was facing death basically. Like someone said I believe it was someone said in my comments that he's basically a zombie right now, or I guess not a zombie. He's a walking dead. That's the way that someone in the comments put it. Like right now, his only thing in life is waiting to pass away. That's all that Darrell Brooks aspires to do. So I think that dawned on him somehow, and that's why he's the way he is right now.
Come on, Your Honor. Come on now. We got to cut that out. You know you have to prove subject matter jurisdiction. You know that. You have to honor your oath of office. You know that.
You know that. Hello, Tequila. Good morning. Good Saturday.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. The defense may call its next witness, please.
Be it 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I got the paperwork since I'm being rushed to judgment.
Like he believes that he's rushed to judgment just because he's like not forcing him, because he doesn't have to. He just wouldn't be able to question her after. But yeah. Hello, Christine. Good morning. Yeah, it's morning for you.
That's not right. Oh, there you go.
Like, look at him fumble with his papers for hours. Like, what is the point of this? I'm gonna skip this. This is annoying.
Raise your right hand, and my coach, Teresa, who's across from you, and on my left will swear you in.
I don't believe that we are going to have the phone calls between Brooks and Don Woods ever, just because I don't think there's enough minutes in a day to count how many hours he spent in with those papers. Bob kidding. What was I gonna say? The calls. No, because they are kind of protected. Yeah, because he represented himself pro se, so there will be kind of like attorney-client privilege calls. So I don't think they're gonna release them ever.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Please be seated.
All right, now
First
she
thing I will
sits
ask
down,
you to
and
do is
then
to state your first and last names for
it's
the record.
another
Erica Patterson.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
3 minutes before he stands up to ask a
Good
question.
morning, Miss Patterson.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, what do you do for a living?
How does that matters? Like, who cares? Like, I know that he's like talking like his pocket question to start an interrogation because he doesn't know anything about it. But who cares? We already went through this the first time that she was interviewed. This is the second time that she's on the stand.
I have my CNA certificate.
Never prepared.
I'm going to direct your attention to the evening of November 21st, 2021.
Okay.
Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
I was hanging out with my friend Corey at Frame Park. I had spoken to you, Mr. Darrell Brooks. You came out there at Frame Park and met me after Miss Corey separated from me with her friend. Me and you got into an argument.
Whoa. Pursuant to the question.
You asked that question. This is the thing that is insufferable for me. Like, you are the one who asked what were you doing that evening. So she's just explaining everything that she was doing that evening. What do you mean pursuant to the question? She's answering your question. Like, you need to be more specific.
I am answering your question.
I was referring to the judge.
I was hanging out
I
with
think
Miss
that kind of
Corey.
got a little ahead of.
You can't go ahead of something if you don't put a standard or like something to say we're gonna start from here through here. See, if you don't put a limit, there she's gonna go off.
Mr. Brooks, just, I'll let you interrupt the answer and you can ask a follow-up. I apologize, I was instructing the clerk to turn up the volume.
Yeah, I didn't like that about the judge. Like, she was not paying attention to the first question of Darrell Brooks.
So go ahead, ask your question.
Same question?
Sure.
Yeah.
What were you doing the evening of November 21st, 2021, before linking up with the alleged defendant?
See, now he knows what to say. He knows that he has to put a limit to what she has to answer. And look at this face. He's just like this is the face that I make when I eat something really acid.
Hanging with my roommate at the time at Frame Park.
And what were you and your roommate doing?
I'll object. We covered this ground during her testimony previously.
Objection and grounds for, I object to that and grounds for the objection on behalf of the state.
I love this moment. He's so flustered by this moment that he doesn't even know what to say. Like, this is one of the moments that I think his brain just short circuits because he has a script. To everything that happens, he already has a script for that. So when they objected, he was supposed to say grounds. But he say objection. So he's objecting to an objection. That doesn't make any sense. Tonya says he's trying to embarrass her and he's the one that looks he backfires on him. He's not good at anything.
Mr. Brooks, we did cover many of these topics previously, so if there's new topics, please go to those. I'll give you a little bit of leeway to lay some foundation, but go ahead, ask your question.
That's
the
with the
objection is from the state is overruled.
Yeah, like she needs to give him some space so he can set up the field and he can ask his questions. I'm okay with that. But let's see what new topics he's talking about. Big shot with my suit on. I hate the way he tries to look down at notes. Yeah, he's really condescending for no reason. And also, speaking of his suit, he has the two buttons. Like, you guys cannot see it really well. Let me fix that. Like, look at that. He has the two buttons on his suit. You don't do that. You just don't do that. Brody.
Do you remember the question?
You asked me what we were doing at the park with Corey? Is that
One
your
sec.
question?
Yes.
We were drinking. I was drinking Mike's hard beverage.
Do you recall around what time of the evening it was when you and your roommate arrived at the park?
I do not remember. We left where we were staying a little around afternoon, a little bit around afternoon.
Do you recall having any phone interactions during that time when you and your roommate were at the park?
Phone interactions, yes.
Do you recall who they were with?
You.
What do you mean by you?
Darrel Brooks.
I like that he doesn't be like who is you a lot with this. As soon as he says like Darrell Brooks, he's like,
Is that usually the name you refer to the alleged defendant by?
Nope.
So he's trying to say that she uses her. I don't know what you call them. He uses her nickname for him, as his name. Like he was supposed to say that in that moment, but no, that's not. You're in court. You're gonna say his real name. Christine says, I hope so. He's just yuck, evil by despicable, angry elf gnome. That's true. Hello, Julie. Good morning. I haven't seen you in a live for a while, I think. And yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do a live next week, so you guys are not gonna see me for. Well, you guys are not gonna be able to talk to me because I have this whole afternoon scheduled to record. So yeah, I don't remember what's the name that she called him. I don't really remember. Maybe she called him Mad Boy Fly. I wonder if Don Brooks tells all about funny comments. Yeah, She tells him everything that happens outside. That's why he knows that there was posts on YouTube and all that stuff.
Would it be fair to say that during those phone interactions, there was a talk of you guys meeting up? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall, to the best of your recollection, what time that would have been at?
No, I don't remember. It was throughout the day.
I'm sorry, are you making references to the phone conversations being throughout the day?
Yes.
And so at some point, would it be fair to say that you did meet up with the alleged defendant?
Yes.
Do you recall what time that was?
I just told you no.
Do you recall if you were still at the park during that time, or had you moved locations?
Still at the park.
And
Everything that is asking right now has been established before. So there's no point to all these questions.
And was your roommate still present with you at that time?
No, she left. We went separate ways. I stayed at the park, and she went her other way with her friend.
Do you recall who that friend was?
Nick.
You know he hates Nick. Like, just the fact that she's hanging out with Nick, even though I don't believe that there was nothing going on there, and even if it was, they were not in a relationship anymore at that point. But yeah, he hates just the fact that she's mentioning Nick. And also, from what I hear, Jessica is not. Let's just say she's not the greatest person in the world as well. Like, I heard some things. Like, I don't know. I personally don't know. She could be the greatest person of all time. But from what I heard from first-hand experience from people that hanging out, like people that was in direct contact with her, she's not that great.
I'm assuming, or let me back that up. Would it be fair to say that at some point during the meetup with the alleged defendant, things got a little chaotic? That'd be fair to say?
Yes.
So,
and do you recall if at that point you were still at the park?
When we met up,
Yes.
well, we were at the park for a second, then we drove around.
Where did you drive to?
Around, then me and you, Mr. Brooks, were arguing in the car. We went up this is a street, it's like a hill. Went up there, and then me and you got into an altercation. I got out of the car, walked back towards Frame Park.
Well, wait, again.
Hold on, she's answering
Okay.
your question.
Um,
You asked her where you.
David asks, do you think that why Brooks stands so much is he believes it makes him important and powerful? I don't think so. I just think that he saw that that's what Zach was doing when he was questioning people. So he thought that, hey, I'm gonna do it as well. I'm a lawyer, right? Hey, Uber Eats. I sometimes order from Uber Eats. I liked it. It's a good gig. I heard people that make my sister used to do that before when yeah like a year ago. Hey, retired. Nice job, Bob Kitten. Way to go.
Drove around. Go ahead.
and
Finish.
then, yes, ma'am. And then I was walking down the street when I left your car. And that's when you followed me, and I walked back towards Frame Park. And you were following me.
Made reference to walk back to Frame Park.
I don't know the exact street name. It was the walk back down the hill. I don't know the exact street name.
Did you at any time, sorry, did you at any time during your travels back to Frame Park, did you at any time notice that there was something going on in the area?
No. When I got to Frame, I was too worried about walking back to Frame Park. When I got to Frame Park after I left it, that's when I realized there's something going on.
Tanya says, I can't believe I'm still watching the Darrell Brooks. I just can't. I can't just about know what's coming and say it word for word. Yeah, I think we are all in that train. Like I watched this trial way too many times. But that's something. That's something that happens. Hey, Dr. Grande. I love watching Dr. Grande's videos. I don't do that anymore, but I used to watch them a lot. But again, this is all pointless questions. This doesn't matter. We'll just, and I think but at this point the judge should have just been like, okay, you said your foundation, just do it. Go to the point. Right? My guy?
And did you ever arrive back at Frame Park?
Yes.
And what did you do when you arrived back at Frame Park?
I called my friend Corey and told her that me and Mr. Brooks got into an altercation. Mr. Brooks was following me. I went back to the SUV, the car, and you argued with me somewhere. I walked back across the street, and by that time, Miss Corey had walked toward us to meet up with me.
And you made reference to you calling your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you recall? Well, let me back up a little bit. Did you call your friend Corey or the friend that she had left you to hang out with?
Corey's phone, I kept calling her phone. Her phone kept going to voicemail, so then I called Nick's phone. He put Corey on the phone. I said Darrel Brooks had just hit me.
I don't think he wanted her to say that. Like, he doesn't know how to handle his way to the conversation, because she just said on oath, on the record, that you hit her. That you don't want to do that. And he dives back into his papers. I know, right? Like, watch it. He's so low to the ground. He's like this far from the desk reading. I don't think I think he got his law license from. He wrote it in the back of a empty carton and with crayons. Like, he didn't even got it from anywhere. He made it himself. That's why it's so bad. All right, here we go. Look at this face. This is the face that says that I am thinking about this. Like, this is gonna be an important question. Let's go.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Holy Jesus! You just went back a minute ago. How far back do you have to go?
If I may.
No, you may not.
To the day prior, November 20th of 2021.
Here we go. Like, now comes the real strategy that she's looking for. Like, and I love this pause face. But, and even Cop over here is like tired of this. But here's his strategy. Like, he's trying to go back to November 20th. Just because the state didn't charge him for that. So when she's saying if he can get her to say something happened on November 20th, then what do you mean? I lost my train of thought. Hey, I'm happy to be some help, Julie. Like, we are here just attacking Darrel Brooks, and everyone, like, that's gonna brighten up your day any day. Like, just looking at this dumb guy and thinking, like, my life is in a pretty bad spot right now. I'm having a hard time, but at least I'm not Darrel Brooks. I do too, Julie. I hope your day gets better. Your weekend, your day, your year, everything. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I was saying that if he can get her to say that something happened on November 20, he believes that he can just dismiss everything that she's saying on November 21st, because she apparently lied about it, but she didn't lie. He just they just didn't charge him.
Do you recall what you were doing that day?
where I was staying at the shelter at first. I was arguing still with Mr. Brooks all throughout the day. Me and Corey had left, and Corey went her separate way, and I went back to Frame Park. I went to Frame Park, that's where I met you at. Me and you also got into argument that day, but we didn't drive around. We're at the Frame Park.
So you're saying that you and the alleged defendant were together the day of November 20th, 2021?
Yes.
Yes. And I think they can prove that. Like if they had a charge against him, I think they will do that. Like they can know because he had his phone with him. So they can know where he was on November 20th. They just didn't brought that information because there was not a charge on that day. Like right now, my phone just gave me like a notification. Like my phone laid out all the places that I drove, all the places that I was in the last month. Like the companies know where we are all the time, unless you have like a Nokia. And I still think that would. I think that will track you, but they can know where he was.
Do you recall around what time that was?
I do not remember.
All right. Tonya says, poor Erica, how did she put up with this guy? Freedom. Like, the thing is that he got her in at a really young age. You know, you are really susceptible to many things when you are that young. You don't think straight. So he brainwashed her, basically. She programmed her to deal with him. I think that's the only way that she could have just, like, handled him, I guess.
And you stated you were briefly with your friend Corey that day?
Yeah, but she went a whole different direction. She didn't come to Frame Park with me. She turned on a whole different street right before Frame Park.
Yes, thank you, Bamak. He groomed her. That's the word that I was trying to say.
Do you recall at any time on November 21st of 2021 being interviewed by a Detective Guth?
Yep.
And do you recall giving a recorded report at that time?
I don't remember.
Do you recall if you had given Detective Goof all the details of the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021?
I didn't give him all the details, but I did the next day when I seen him.
Yeah, now he's back to telling her that, yeah, Detective Good is a good guy. A good guy. But now she's trying to say that because she didn't give him all the information at the same time, that's why she's lying. We'll have to bail at some point, waiting for Cable Guy. Hey, as long as it's not Jim Carrey going over there and doing your cable. Don't accept those free channels.
Funny.
Hello, Aaron. Good morning from Connecticut. Hey, nice. Good afternoon.
Were you aware that it was reported there was in fact no incident on November 20th, 2021?
That's not true.
Objection, move to strike the answer and the question.
Grounds.
Lack of personal knowledge, hearsay.
Sustained. I'll strike the question and the answer. The reason stated, serve, rephrase, or
So can I show the witness the same paperwork that I attempted to show?
no.
Nope.
And why not?
Not relevant.
How's it not relevant when that was just testified to? Wouldn't that be opening the door?
No.
Oh.
Next question.
Hey, Valkyrie Barber. Watching from Edinburgh, Scotland. Hey, we have some viewers from Scotland. Welcome, my Scottish friend.
Any reason why it would be reported no incident happened on November 20th of 2021?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Since facts not in evidence, sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Assumes facts not in evidence.
The record speaks for itself.
So, upon speaking to Detective Goof during the first interview, do you recall why you were not forthright with information?
It wasn't that I was not forthright, I just didn't tell him everything right away.
Why not?
I don't know, Mr. Brooks.
When speaking with a law enforcement officer, would it be fair to say that you should be truthful and honest?
I was very truthful, I just didn't tell him everything at once. Told him the next day, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, she didn't lie. She just didn't say everything. That's different. Lying, that doesn't work like that.
And in the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021, were you injured?
No. Well, you did hit me a little, well, like a little.
Were you injured?
No, I didn't have any marks on me. Is that what you're asking?
Like he believes that you need to have a black eye for it to count. Like if you hit someone and they don't have any marks after, it's like it didn't happen. Why are you crying about it? No, this just no.
So where were you injured?
By my lip?
Objection, this states the evidence.
Grounds.
I believe the witness understood the question. She answered it. It may stand.
Why?
Did your roommate observe any injuries from the alleged incident on November 20th, 2021?
Hello, Natty Shack. DV just trying to intimidate Erica to make her scared, but she's through with him for sure. Hey, from Connecticut as well. Hey, we have some Connecticut people over here. Hello. Good afternoon. Yeah, the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, it's like, why did you lie?
She knew about it, but there's nothing visible on my face.
Yeah, it's still violence if it doesn't leave a mark. Like I believe the popular saying. I don't know if this is true. I haven't ever got hit or hit someone with it, but I believe that if you hit someone with a bag of oranges, that doesn't leave any marks. I don't know if that's like just a myth or that's true. Anyone knows about that one?
Know if your roommate, do you know if your roommate had spoken with law enforcement about these alleged incidents
I
from
don't know.
November 20th of 2021 and November 21st of 2021?
I don't know.
Did she ever tell you yourself that she was interviewed by any law enforcement?
I don't remember.
Like I remember my grandma used to hit us with a leather belt, but she did it over the clothes, so it didn't leave any marks.
One second.
One second, and it's like a minute.
So what time did you meet up with the alleged defendant on November 20th, 2021?
Who cares about November 20th of 2021? Nothing is charged for that because why is no one objecting that this is irrelevant?
I don't remember.
Was it morning time? evening
Afternoon.
time? I didn't hear that.
Afternoon.
How much time do you need to write afternoon? Valkyrie, there's not gonna be another case for Darrell Brooks. He plead no contest, so that means that's kind of like guilty. Not quite, but it's kind of like guilty. So we're not gonna have a trial for that. It's just settled outside of trial. So not another Brook online case, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends on how you look at it.
And what were you doing prior to the alleged meeting up with the alleged defendant?
Objection.
Grounds.
Asked and answered.
Yeah,
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Asked and answered.
it was asked and answered. What do you mean?
When?
Next question, please.
When was it answered?
During the trial, in the past 20 minutes. Yeah, the next time that we're gonna even hear something about Darrell Brooks is gonna be during, and even if it happens, the appeal thing. That I don't believe anyone, any lawyer, would put his integrity, no, I don't believe anyone will take that case.
So to the best of your recollection, you can't recall why an alleged incident on November 20th of 2021 was reported to never happen.
Objection.
Grounds.
Same reasons as the previous objections.
Irrelevant.
Assumes facts not in evidence. Mischaracterizes her prior testimony and irrelevant.
I object to that respectfully and
Next
ask for a
question.
legal finding of fact and a legal reconsideration of that ruling, Your Honor.
Denied. Noted for the record. Next question, please.
I'm trying to figure out how something got pulled out of thin air. Interesting.
Yeah, we can watch the black eye video after this. We're just gonna get to the picture segment and then we're gonna move on to the other thing.
So it would be fair to say that you have a child in common with the alleged defendant. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Is that the only child in common?
Yes.
You have any other children?
Objection.
Grounds?
Has nothing to do with the case. Sorry.
Hold
I'm
on,
sorry,
there's
Your
been
Honor.
an objection, not relevant. Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain?
It's not relevant. Who cares about her other kids? We are not talking about that.
The record speaks for itself. Next question.
What was the record speaking for itself? I didn't hear it.
Not relevant.
How is it not relevant?
Next question, please.
How is it not relevant?
It's not relevant. And he has the right. So he has the right. Judge didn't tell me why it was not relevant. Dismiss this trial. Hello, Rebecca. Good morning. How's it going?
The child that you have in common with the alleged defendant. How old is that child?
15.
Do you keep regular contact with that child?
Off and on.
Describe what you mean by off and on.
I'll object.
Grounds.
It has nothing to do with anything. You are here for something between you and her. The daughter has nothing to do with anything.
Not relevant.
Not relevant. Sustained.
Grounds.
It's not relevant.
It's not relevant, sir.
She answered it.
It's still not relevant. Look at this face. Look at this face. It's not relevant.
Next question, please.
And the child in common that you have with the alleged defendant. Does that child live with you?
No.
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Not relevant. You don't have to
Tell him to move on.
answer that.
And yeah, he's the one to talk about her not living with her daughter. I guarantee you that he never put 1 cent towards that child or any child that he had. Like, he doesn't care.
Do any of your children live with you?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain?
Not relevant.
That goes to the credibility, Your Honor. So how is it not relevant?
Because it doesn't matter.
The objection has been sustained.
For relevancy.
Yes.
I object to that and would like to inform you that I intend to appeal that decision unless you want to give a legal reconsideration of that ruling.
No.
I love that this is a threat to her. Like, and I love this pause face. I hate that this is a threat. Like, I object to that, and I would like to inform you that I'm gonna appeal unless you reconsider that. What? Like, what?
Noted for the record, I direct your attention to 906.16 And the basis for the objection being sustained is it does not fall within the categories listed. Next question.
Is that lawful law?
Yes.
Next question, please, sir.
I'm getting there. This is lawful law.
Wisconsin State Statute 906.16.
That doesn't answer my question, but okay.
That answers your question, but you don't know how to interpret that. Hello, Danny. It's you. Good morning. Darrel was just trying to find out if she's having an affair with the Corey's friend. You couldn't have you cannot have an affair if you're not with a person that you will have an affair. You will need someone to have an affair with someone. Hello, Frasar. You didn't miss much. We're just recapping the last time that Brooks saw Erica. Are you gonna do anything more? No? No? You're just gonna stay there? Also, guys, I just like to take this moment. If you guys are like these streams, would like to help me with these streams, would appreciate if you guys could like the stream so we can get to more people. Share it with your friends. Say, hey, this guy is live. It's kind of funny sometimes.
Where did you meet the alleged defendant?
Reno, Nevada.
Why is this important? Mr. Darrel Grounds Brooks. What a clown this guy is. Yeah, when when Darrel Brooks goes to the grocery store and asks for coffee, he asks for grounds. There's a joke there somewhere. Someone better than me can make that joke.
How long have you known the alleged defendant?
16 years.
You made reference to meeting in Nevada. Do you recall where you met at?
Nevada?
No. I don't remember.
In relation to the alleged incident on November 21st of 2021, would it be fair to say that there's been no contact between you and the alleged defendant?
Not since then, no.
Here we go. This is where he messes up. Here's where the lies start. Because he asked the direct question. Since that happened, have you had any contact with me? And that's the thing. She's telling the truth. Those letters that we're about to hear about were sent way before this happened. If they even exist.
That last answer was kind of low. Did you say no?
I said no, not since then.
Hello, Kim. So, South Africa. What time is in South Africa right now? Welcome. Hello.
So that would mean, assuming that would mean no contact at all via phone or anything like that.
No.
Oh yeah, I hear about the trial. We're gonna watch that part of the trial next, Frasar.
So my question would be, I don't know if you can see them from here, but do you recognize these pictures?
You need to show those to the state. The bailiff will take them. It's not proper procedure, sir.
Yeah, this is so far as I wanted to go with this video. Like, he goes to this with a smoking gun, and this face, this face is what everyone was having when he said that, when he put those pictures up there. Like, this is the face, like, that everyone was like, "What? Are you kidding me? Why are you showing that?" This face of surprise and disbelief. All right, so let's go to the Darrel Brooks. How do I watch search for Darrel Brooks no contest? Here we go. $6.45. All right, let me go back and see if I can spot the black eye. We're gonna watch it in slow mo. 0.5. Let's see. Like, he's happy. He cut his hair from before. Yeah, I guess you can see it here. It's a little bit on the inner part of the eye. Hello, Fred. Oh, you're Fred's mom. Hello, Fred's mom. Yeah, you can see it a little bit right here, like in the inner part of this side. Oh, maybe is that a black eye? A little puffy in here. All right. Let's continue. $6.45. Well, good afternoon.
President Court, Your Honor.
Darrel Brooks Jr., 21 CF 4596, 21 CF 5020. Appearances, please.
Matthew Torbinson and Shelley Grosso appear for the state. Good morning, Your Honor.
Attorney Russell Jones on behalf of Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks is present in court, Your Honor. Injury clothing. Good morning.
Right. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Mr. Brooks.
Hello, Your Honor.
We are here. It is the day that our trial was scheduled, but I have plea paperwork, and I understand that the parties have reached
Hello, coffee cake. Good morning.
an agreement. Mr. Torbinson, do you want to put the state's offer on the record?
Case ending 4596. The state anticipates Mr. Brooks entering a no contest plea to count 3, second-degree recklessly endangering safety as an act of domestic abuse. Based upon that plea to count 3, the remaining charges would be dismissed and read in for consideration at sentencing. As to case ending 5020, the state anticipates Mr. Brooks entering a plea of no contest to count 1, felony intimidation of a victim. Based upon that plea, the state would move the court to dismiss and read in the remaining 2 charges for consideration of sentencing. At the time of sentencing, the state will recommend that the court sentence Mr. Brooks to a substantial term in the Wisconsin State Prison System. We will leave the ultimate interpretation of that to the sound discretion of the court. The defense would be completely free to argue for the appropriate sentence.
It also contemplates the amended information's not being filed.
Okay. Mr. Torbinson, you talked about count 3 as charged, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jones?
Hey, good morning, Ann Jacobs. Hey, Rory's here. Rory's just behind me.
Is that your understanding of the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor, and I actually did an attachment of an email string between the state and I for clarity of the record.
Okay, I appreciate that. And
I had Mr. Brooks' initial next to the offer section.
great. We are, you're planning or anticipating that it will be a no contest plea. Do you want to make a record as to why that is rather than a guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is entering a no contest plea. In those discussions, I indicated that he understands that he'll be found guilty, but he is standing silent as to, or sorry, he's not contesting the allegations because of potential civil liability, which he may or may not be exposed to with respect to these charges, and therefore we've negotiated a no contest plea. But I will tell you that he understands he'll be found guilty. This is not a maintaining of innocence thing. This has an issue. This is a legal decision based upon potential civil liability.
All right, and the state is, that was part of your offer, and you are willing to accept a no contest plea for those purposes?
I am understanding that the victim, Ms. Patterson, can still seek restitution in these matters if she so wishes. We are not objecting.
All right, all right. And the court is willing to accept it for the reasons that have been stated on the record. The named victim.
Right. Hello, Ann Jacobs. Hello, Mrs. Awesome. Someone else asking, what does read in mean? Read in means that the charges will be dismissed, but they will still tell the judge, hey, those charges were still there, so she can consider them while she's doing the other sentence, or the one that she's actually gonna sentence him for. So they have some weight into the other sentences.
Victim will have the opportunity to put in a request for restitution that is separate from a civil liability thing. It's so that will still be a potential that will be part of this. So, Mr. Brooks, it is my understanding that you are planning to enter a guilty plea today to
no
two
contest.
See, I told you I would do it.
I know you did.
It is habit. I apologize. A no contest plea to two of these charges that are pending against you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Have you had any drugs or alcohol in the past 24 hours?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on any medications?
No, Your Honor.
Are there any medications you're supposed to be taking that you have not taken?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So you've been charged with a number of counts in each of these cases. It's my understanding that you're going to enter a guilty plea to the two, or sorry, I did it again, no contest plea to the two, and then the other charges will be dismissed and read in. What that means is for the dismissed and read in counts, you will not face any penalty for those, nor will you have a conviction for them. However, when we get to sentencing, the state will make their argument as to the facts of the case, and they can argue the facts that relate to those dismissed and read-in charges, and I can take those into consideration when I sentence you on the two that you entered the no contest plea to and that you were ultimately found guilty of. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, she explained it better than I, so there you go.
All right. So for the two that you are going to enter the no contest plea on, the first is a second-degree recklessly endangering safety with a domestic abuse assessment. That means that it is a Class G felony, and for that you face the potential penalty of a fine of up to $25,000 and imprisonment of not more than 10 years or both. That 10 years is broken down into two parts, 5 years initial confinement and 5 years extended supervision as a maximum. Do you understand that's what you're facing?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition to that, because of the nature of the crime, that this is someone that you have been involved in a domestic relationship with, or either resided with or have a child with, you would face the domestic abuse assessment for that, which is just an additional $100 penalty that would apply against you, as well as a federal ban on ever possessing a firearm. Do you
So that means that, like, why is that only $100? Like, if you do domestic abuse against someone that trusts you, someone that you have a child to, someone who has easier access to you, why is it only $100 more?
understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then on the count one, felony intimidation of a victim, that you're going to enter the no contest plea on in case 21 CF 5020. That is also a Class G felony, potential penalty of a fine of up to $25,000 and imprisonment of not more than 10 years, or both, broken into that 5 years initial confinement and 5 years extended supervision piece. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also understand that if you were to be sentenced?
You don't have to get that close to the mic, my guy. They can pick you up from over here.
to prison, you would have to serve in prison each day imposed as initial confinement, because initial confinement time is not reduced by good time or by parole.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you further understand that when we get to sentencing, I was not part of any negotiations, so I'm not bound by anybody's offer or recommendation. I will listen to what the state has to say, anything that the alleged victim has to say, either in writing or in person or in, I guess, any other form. Anything that your attorney says, anything that you say, and anyone who speaks on your behalf. I will take all of those things into consideration, and then I'll sentence you as I see fit, which could be up to and including the maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also understand that because these charges are felonies, once you are convicted, there's some additional consequences, including the fact that you will never be allowed to possess a firearm at any time in the future. You may not vote in any election until your civil rights are restored. You will have to provide a DNA specimen to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab for DNA testing. And because these are violent felonies as defined under Wisconsin law, you may never possess body armor at any time in the future. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, the plea of guilty or no contest for this offense with which you were charged may result in deportation, the exclusion from admission of this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you further understand that if you enter a no contest plea, you will be giving up all the same rights as if you had pled guilty, and at the end of this, even if you enter a no contest plea, I will find you guilty of these crimes? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So what is your plea then in 21 CF 4596 of second-degree recklessly endangering safety with the domestic abuse assessment?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. And in 21 CF 5020, intimidation, felony intimidation of a victim.
All right, Bob Kitten, have fun with the cable guy. Ask him if you know Jim Carrey.
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. Now, I have in front of me your plea questionnaire and waiver of rights form. Did you go over that with Mr. Jones and sign off on it today?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you understand that when you say no contest, rather than asking for a trial, you give up a number of constitutional rights that are guaranteed to you? Those include your right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to see and cross-examine the state's witnesses, as well as call witnesses on your own behalf and have them come to court to testify for you, the right to actually have a trial, which could be a jury trial where 12 people sit together, listen to the evidence, and then must agree as to each element prior to reaching a decision, or a court trial where the judge listens to the evidence and makes a decision. And finally, the right to make the state prove you guilty by evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed the crimes charged. Do you understand you give up all those rights when you say no contest rather than asking for a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also realize you're giving up the right to raise any motions, such as suppression of the evidence, identification of you as the person who committed the crime, suppression of any statement you may have made, or any challenges to the information or the complaint?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also realize you're giving up the right to raise certain defenses you might have, such as insanity, self-defense, intoxication, alibi, coercion, and necessity?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone make any threats or promises to get you to enter into these pleas today?
No, Your Honor.
Did you read and understand the criminal complaints that were filed in these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you discuss with your attorney the elements of these offenses?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if we had a trial, the state would have to prove as to the second-degree recklessly endangering safety that on November 2nd, 2021, at 7311 West Capitol Drive, that you endangered the safety of another human being, that you endangered the safety of another by criminally reckless conduct. That criminally reckless conduct means that the conduct created the risk of death or great bodily harm to another person, and the risk of death or great bodily harm was unreasonable and substantial, and
Hey, hello, Sheer. There? Hello.
you were aware that your
20 or more, David Brown. 20 or more.
conduct created the unreasonable and substantial risk of death or great bodily harm. Great
I like that his lawyer is just on Facebook right now. Like he's just out of it. He's like I'm here with my phone. The other lawyer as well is just playing Candy Crush right here. You guys cannot see it. Like listen, they are all in their phone while this is happening. Like they don't. This is
Great bodily harm means serious bodily injury. Injury which creates a substantial risk of death or which causes serious permanent disfigurement, or which causes a permanent or protracted loss or impairment of the function of any bodily member or organ, or other serious bodily injury, is great bodily harm. Do you understand that's what they would have to prove at trial if we had a trial in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by pleading no contest, you are admitting that you believe that the state has adequate evidence upon which they could convict you, and you are opting not to challenge that evidence. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As to count 1 in 21 CF 5020, do you understand, that's the felony intimidation of a victim, that if we had a trial on that matter, the state would have to prove that between November 5th, 2021 and
Yes, I got the videos. Thank you.
November 15th of 2021, from 949 North 9th Street, that, what are the initials? EP?
Yes.
EAP, was the victim of a crime, that you prevented, dissuaded, attempted to prevent, or attempted to dissuade EAP from reporting the crime to any law enforcement agency, and that you acted knowingly and maliciously. Do you understand that's what they'd have to prove as to the felony intimidation of a victim?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by entering that no contest plea, you are admitting that the state has adequate evidence that they could use to convict you of that, and you are opting not to challenge it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to go over this case with your attorney?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, or are you confused about anything we're doing here today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading no contest because, again, you understand the state has adequate evidence upon which they could use to convict you, and you are opting not to challenge that evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, have you gone over the plea questionnaire and waiver of rights forms with your client?
Yeah, I believe the wheelchair is so they can transport him easier than he just walking.
I did.
Are you satisfied that your client understands the nature of the charges, the elements, the maximum penalties, and all of the rights that he's giving up by pleading no contest, including the fact that he will be found guilty, and also including any possible motions or defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, and to that end, I also handed Mr. Brooks about 100 and some pages of reports today, just so he would have them. The witness list, the amended information, and there's additional documents I'll be sending to him. Although he has them on digital format, I wanted him to have them in paper format. We went through the no contest discussions. We also had a discussion, not just today in your bullpen, but also, and I'm not getting into the substance of it, but also on Saturday, we were able to have a fruitful conversation. So I think that Mr. Brooks is doing this knowingly and voluntarily.
All right. Are you satisfied that alcohol, medication, or drugs are not affecting your client's ability to understand what he's doing in court today?
I am.
Are you satisfied the plea is being made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently?
I am.
Are you aware of any reason in law why I should not accept this plea?
No.
Does the state consent to the jury waiver?
We do.
All right. The court approves the waiver and finds that the defendant is entering this plea freely, voluntarily, intelligently, and with full understanding of the nature of the charge, the maximum possible penalties, and all of the rights being given up by pleading no contest, and the court accepts that plea. Mr. Jones, may the court use the facts in the criminal complaints to stand as the factual basis?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Brooks, you said that you read and understood the criminal complaints. Are you agreeing that you believe that the state could prove that those facts are true, and therefore you are opting not to challenge them with your no contest plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court finds that there is a factual basis for the acceptance of your plea, and based on your pleas of no contest, the court now finds you guilty of the offense of second-degree recklessly endangering safety with the domestic abuse assessment and felony intimidation of a victim in the manner and form as charged in the information, and I judge you convicted as of today's date, and I order judgment of conviction to be entered into the record. Is the state moving to dismiss and read in the 21 CF 4596 counts 1, 2, 4, and 5?
Yes, and counts 2 and 3 on 5020.
Okay, you got there before I did. That's fine. All right, those will be dismissed and read in for the purposes of sentencing. It is my understanding that we're setting sentencing off for another date. We will select that date in just a moment. At the time of sentencing, Mr. Brooks, and I am going to keep this. This was, I had this case in the domestic violence court. I came to another assignment, but I kept it because I had done much work on it, and I thought for continuity it was best. I will be transferring to another assignment in August. If we get a date before that date, I am specifically keeping this case. I will see it through. So at the time of sentencing, I am willing to listen to oral statements of counsel as well as anything that you have to say, Mr. Brooks, as well as EAP.
So there's gonna be statements made during sentencing.
If you would like to have a friend or a relative speak on your behalf, I'm more than happy to talk to that person. If there's more than one person who wants to do that, they should put their comments in writing and get them to Mr. Jones so he can electronically file them at least 3 days prior to that sentencing. If there are issues of restitution, that will be determined at sentencing if possible. Is there a request for a pre-sentence investigation?
No.
No.
All right. And
I'm not moving for remand. I normally would in a case like this, but given where Mr. Brooks is serving a sentence and my understanding that Mr. Brooks wants to return back to Boscobel, I'm not asking for remand.
Right, I agree with that.
Correct.
Generally, I would remand someone given the seriousness of the charges that you just entered into and that what the state's recommendation of substantial prison would be. But given your situation, I don't want you to have to be held in the Milwaukee County Jail.
So it seems like he wants to go back to maximum prison because I think because of the black eye, like he doesn't want to be in the jail over there. He would rather be back on his solitary but not being hit in the face than stay there. Good.
Rather than returning to the prison setting where you have been housed. So I am not going to remand for that specific reason. I know you will be held. That is the court's goal, that you be held in custody, just not necessarily here. So
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, so I have some warnings for you. You may not have any firearms as you are now a convicted felon. The maximum possible penalty you face for violation of that is a $25,000 fine and a 10-year period of imprisonment. You cannot vote until your civil rights are restored. You may not possess body armor, and any no contact order remains in place at least until after sentencing. All right, we will select a sentencing date, and I will see you then.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Parties available August 9th at 9 o'clock.
No. That week, I can do any of Monday, Tuesday, or the Wednesday, not the Thursday or Friday.
That week is not good for this court.
Okay. Then the following week is a good week for me, except for Monday,
Okay.
generally.
August 16th, 9 o'clock.
That'll work.
Works for the state.
Yes.
It was so close. I was so excited. I was so excited. It's 3 days before my birthday. I was like, oh, I could have this sentencing on my birthday, but no. They put it on the 16th. My birthday is August 19th. So it was really close to having like a birthday present right there.
Next court date will be August 16th at 9 o'clock for sentencing.
Friday, August 16th.
No, move it to Monday, the 19th.
Worst, you probably stayed a weekend. Make it chill.
I want to go.
All right, let's see if we can see the black eye better. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Okay, let's do it properly. Okay, let's enhance. Hey, we share birthdays. Enhance. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see it better there. So they put the guys hit him square on the eye. So that's why he was so happy to go back to the, what was it called? Boscobel, something like that, because he didn't want to stay over there with the bad guys. Yeah, he's gonna have to go up early that day because it's a 9 o'clock a.m. and it's 3 hours away, so he has to get out of jail like 4 a.m. No, yeah, 4 or 5 a.m. to get there. Or maybe they're gonna move it the day before. But okay, I thank you guys for watching with me today. I wanted to catch up on the trials things that I was missing. That's gonna be it for today. Come back tomorrow at the same time. We're gonna have another one. We're gonna watch body cam videos, so other kind of videos, or maybe trial again. Like I'm down for anything. But thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna record on this afternoon, so there's gonna be more videos coming up. So be on the lookout for those. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. You hear what happened in Chihuahua? Oh yeah, I saw that. That was awful. Hello, Ben. Do you hear what happened in Chihuahua with the singer? It was the whole family. The only person that they didn't got was the mother-in-law. But yeah, I saw that. Remember what they put in the WC before? All right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you guys can make it. Bye bye.